Karuga. Kapla!
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Karuga. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember the 50 waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
You come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. Here to make war, we surrender. Important things are giving you peace.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. That means you're going to make a profit.
Look, these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before, or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird O' Prey 5 channel. Hail Karuga.
Hello world, it's Bird O' Prey 5, Kapla, and welcome to Deep Space Nine Wednesday for March 17th, 2021, also known as St. Patrick's Day. Thank you if you are joining me here to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, aka St. Patty's Day, with Deep Space Nine and our own Miles O'Brien, a little Irish to the mix. Okay, it might not be the most traditional St. Patrick's Day celebration, but it's something. It's better than watching Anti-Tricker play a game where he pretends to be attacking Karuga, but is instead attacking his own country and making his own people fight to the death for his own gory pleasures. Instead, we'll see one of the best episodes of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Apocalypse Rising, where Cisco, O'Brien, the newly human Odo from last episode, and Worf have to go undercover to expose what they believe to be the Gowron changeling. And this is the best of the best Klingons. Will all be around Gowron, and they have to show him to be the shapeshifter they think he is. Else it's all for nothing. It all will be lost. Can they do it? We'll see. Odo is still getting used to being a solid. And yeah, this was the season premiere of season 5. So it's season 5, episode 1. It aired originally September something of 1996. So just 3 months after the season finale of season 4. September 30th, 1996. So yeah, in those days, not that big of a difference. Gary Katzer, Kapla Gary, says, using a different name, says hashtag simulate this. I believe that's a reference to the First Contact assimilate this. But hey, I'll take it. Thank you, and happy St. Patrick's Day. Tronos is Bird of Prey. This I will not forgive or forget. You will. You will forgive. You'll forgive. Let me get started, though, at the top of the chat today. Not Ryan Johnson was first saying hello and kapla. Hail, Karoga. Hail, Karoga, not Ryan Johnson. Thank you. And also a big thank you to Professor Brainy Specs. If you noticed in the opening credits today, the newest citizen of Karoga is the good professor himself. Thank you for becoming a channel member professor and a citizen, Karoga citizen level at that. 47 Yorktown says, Happy St. Patrick's Day from Eastern Canada. Kapla. Actor says, Apocalypse Rising is the new badass nickname for Clono Prey, cis eater of dictators. Charlie O'Prey, either way. That's some nickname. Josh Street says, Dear powerful Mom O'Prey, why is late O'Prey 5 always late to his own streams? I wasn't late. I was a minute and 30 seconds early when today's stream started. Actor says, today I've never saw an Irishman in real life, but this night I will get poop-faced in their honor. That's the way to do it. Josh Street says, but Actor, you see a wee Irish lad, everything he comes to the show by the name of Nephew O'Prey, formerly known as Clone O'Prey. Nephew O'Prey is not Irish, I don't think. Uh-huh. Oh, he is Irish? He's got some Irish in him. Oh, we should be celebrating with Nephew O'Prey. Wesley Crusher, Kapla West. Oh, he's out at the bar. Wesley Crusher says, Bird of Prey, greetings birds, turds, and nerds, greetings Wes. Josh Street says, where is Late O'Prey 5? He is several hours late to his own stream. That is fake news. Wesley says, why is Bird late? Josh Street says, where is Bird? Is he asleep? No, I took a nap. I actually took 2 naps today because the Nephew O'Prey had me awake at 2 a.m. And I was awake from 2 a.m. till like 6 a.m. And then I took a nap. And I was up again at 7 a.m. And then I took another nap from like 12 to 1. And that was when I finally started feeling a bit better. Kronos is Bird of Prey. What's the matter? Haven't seen a Klingon before. A quote from this coming episode. Wesley says, Actor is crazy. He made us all up. No, Actor's not crazy. John Street says, Kronos, you're late, but earlier than Late O'Prey 5. Kronos says, this is a good episode. And yes, it is. And no, lol, Late O'Prey, that's not funny. So Wesley says, Josh Street, am I late? Kronos says, hey, nerds. Josh Street says, Kronos, Klingons where? I don't see any. Can you point them out? Dee Dee says, hail to Kronos. Kronos says they had the genetic issue. The Klingons you can't spot, that is. Kronos says, hey to Dee Dee and hey Wes, and shut up. Lots of hellos going back and forth. Kronos says he's an equal opportunity hater. Captain Track says, Bird of Prey, hello, Captain Track, good to see you. Thank you. I was on your stream quite a bit this morning, half awake at times. I don't even remember what I was saying at some points, but thank you for having me. Josh Reed says, 1, 2, Bird will be late. 3, 4, better go Jaloja. 5, 6, grab a snack. 7, 8, gonna fall asleep. 9, 10, never leaving the mines again. Chrono says, I need to know which Nightmare on Elm Street again. I need to watch Nightmare on Elm Street again. I don't know why. Chrono says, does NX stand for anything? I thought it was a code for experimental, but I'm not sure. Dan23 says, lots of people I subscribe to on YouTube are doing their live videos earlier for some reason. Dan, You're in England, I believe, or the UK, and in the United States, we changed our clock. We moved an hour ahead on Sunday night or Sunday morning this past Sunday. What's the matter, Mama Pray? Oh. On Sunday morning we moved our clocks up, and you guys don't move your clocks for a couple more weeks. So until you guys change your clocks, streams based in the United States are going to be an hour earlier than you'd expect them to be. Dan says, I think Star Trek ships with NX on them are prototypes. Yes, they are, but I'm not sure if it actually means anything. Chronos says, the NX-01 is one sexy ship. It is. Chronos says, is Bird asleep? No, I'm not asleep. Don't forget to switch to live chat. I did. Thank you, Chronos. John Street says, Chronos, when you watch Nightmare on Elm Street again, please picture Birdo Prey 5 as Freddy. No thanks. Chronos says, is your sci-fi channel broken? I don't check. I never really watched the sci-fi channel, although it did record Resident Alien this week, and I watched it, so that was good. John Street says, remember to put Birdo Prey in every comment, so Birdo Prey reads every comment without skipping a non-Birdo Prey comment. Wow. Let's see, what are we doing? Dan23 says, humans travel at the speed to first. You're turning into a lizard. That's warp 10. Moxley fan 21, Kapla Moxley fan. Says Bird of Prey, Kapla Bird, Mamo Prey, Sissel Prey, Nephew of Prey. Hope you're all doing well today. Hello, chat. Thank you, Moxley. We are doing well, so well. In fact, Sissel Prey took Nephew of Prey out on a walk around the neighborhood today. She was feeling pretty good. She got her second Pfizer vaccine yesterday afternoon. She was worried that she was going to feel really sick today. And aside from pain in her arm, knock on wood, she's been feeling pretty good. So, yeah, good things. She said she doesn't feel all there. Like, she can't multitask as well as she can on a normal day. But other than that, there's no actual symptoms of illness. Life with Matthew says, Kapla, Bird of Prey and all. Kapla, Life with Matthew. And Kapla, Thomas Potts. Thomas Potts' Bird of Prey is early. Just a minute. Chronos says, hey to Thomas. And Chronos says, Kapla, Chronos. Josh Street says, old and new, if you want to watch along with the evil Birdo Prey 5 and don't have a copy, you can watch while Birdo Prey streams the episode or / movie at https www.birdoprey5.com/sr. Yeah. If you want to watch my copy, you can go to the Birdo Prey 5 screening room. The address is in the video at the bottom, screening room. birdoprey5.com/sr, and that will take you only while the video is live, only while I'm doing this live. When I actually start to watch the episode, it will start playing in the screening room, and once we're over for today, it will end immediately. So if you're watching this at a later time, you need to have your own copy of Deep Space Nine, which you can conveniently find on Amazon Prime Video, Hulu, Netflix, and the new Paramount Plus network. Or you might also have it on DVD or any other particular source where you can legally obtain the episodes of Deep Space Nine. And let me tell you, if you've never seen Deep Space Nine, it is hands down the best Star Trek series created. And the only reason I put it better than TOS is because it went a full 7 seasons. They had full time to tell the story they wanted to tell. unlike Star Trek, the original series, which not only went 3 seasons, they were afraid it was canceled after 2 seasons. So they never really got the chance to tell the stories they wanted to tell. But DS9 is unforgettable. The pinnacle of modern television, in my opinion. Dee Dee Myers says, Kapla, how are you and the family doing? We're doing well, Dee Dee Myers. Thank you for asking. Wesley says, why is Bird so late? Obviously, knowing I'm not late. What'd you say, Mom? Oh, Charlie's home. John Araki with a $1 super chat. Thank you so much, John Araki. You didn't know where you were, Charlie? You were in the basement. You didn't know you were in this house. You've never been in the basement of this house before. Now you remember what my basement looks like, Charlie. Yeah. Hi, Charlie. Oh, Charlie. Oh, you went to sleep in your walk around the neighborhood. And thank you again, Gary, for the $10 super chat. And thank you again, John Araki, for the $1 super chat. Kronos is Bird of Prey. This I will not forgive or forget. Rock Solid says, I was on my phone, Bird of Prey. Logged me in with my other account by accident. No problem, Rock Solid. I knew it was you, but I didn't know if you wanted me to say it was you. So, yes, the Gary Katzer account is, in fact, our own Rock Solid Productions. So thank you, Rock Solid, for the super chat. Kronos gives up. You giving up, Kronos? Wow. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, I guess being an hashtag idiot and all being on the wrong account is par for the course. Nobody thinks you're a hashtag idiot, Rock Solid. Kronos puts in the shamrocks. Yes, little St. Patrick's Day. Wesley Crusher says 2 naps. Wow, I know, but I was up really early. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, we all demand answers to this question. Which question? I answered the question. Project Story Time says, hail everyone. Hail Project Story Time. Let's see. Where are we? Where are we? Geeks, movies, and comics are us, says hi, Bird of Prey. Is DS9 your favorite series? It is. It is my favorite series. Project Storytime says Kapla, Bird of Prey, and hail to D.D. Myers and Kronos. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, you sound sleepy. You should start the show and then take a nap. I might. No, I'm not sleep talking, Kronos. Maybe the microphone's a little far away, but I'm not sleep talking. Rock Solid put in a link. He wants an answer to the question that's in the link, I assume. Rock Solid, this is gonna mess up all my screens. I don't even know if it actually. Shit. Let's try it. Did Mike Richards see my package? Say hi to my package. No, Mike Richards did not see my package. That was a typo of the mouth. That was not something that actually happened. Just nothing to see here. Carry on. Move along. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. Yeah, Charlie. Hi, Charlie. Actor says Alan Tudyk is the bestest alien. I don't know who that is. Trono says Mama Pray rocks. She sure does. She sure does. Wesley says games, movies, and comics are us. Yes, DS9 is Bird's favorite everything. This is true. This is mostly true. And Kronos puts in a link to birdofprey5.com. Thank you, Kronos. Go to birdofprey5.com for all your Bird of Prey 5 needs. Sorry about that silence. I was coughing. Thought I'd save you guys the ear pain. Super Blubberpuss is in the house. Kapla, Super Blubberpuss. This Bird of Prey, good to see you, sir. Sorry, the vaccine shot is not for me. I believe in science. Super Blubberpuss, I don't really care whether you get the vaccine one way or the other. Your choice. Games, movies, and comics are us. Says I need to stream every single Star Trek game someday. Wow, that's a lot of games. And games, movies, and comics are us. Says Paramount Plus is really not much different than CBS was. No, it's really not. Moxley fans is Bird of Prey. What's a DVD again? You might call them coasters. They used to look like CDs, and they were DVDs. Nothing. Old technology. Project Storytime says TOS greater than DS9. I put TOS in a separate venue completely than DS9 because without TOS there would have been no other track. But as it only went 3 seasons, it's also not fair to compare to series that went a full 7 seasons. And Kronos' DS9 doesn't have Troy. Yes, that's generally a good thing. And Kronos says, hey to Ciso Prey. Life with Matthews is Bird of Prey. Last episode was the only time anyone was able to know Odo was a changeling just by scanning him. Julian was shocked to scan Odo and find lungs. Yes, and I pointed it out at the time that it was well established before last episode that when Odo was in human form, he scanned as a human. When Odo was in a rock, he scanned like he was a rock. When he was a bird, he would scan as a bird. So it was bad writing, bad and inconsistent writing that the doctor could tell he was human from the scans he took. If you could just scan a shapeshifter and tell he was human, then you wouldn't need to do blood screenings. It was an otherwise excellent episode with one really bad line. But the rest of the episode was pretty damn good. Rocksolid says Bird of Prey's basement, aka Krogan Mines. Chrono Prey's getting ready for his future. Kronos' Bird of Prey is sleeping like Charlie O'Prey. No, Charlie's awake now. Rock Solid says Bird of Prey. This question, I found it. No, nobody saw my package or said hi to it. Actress is Bird of Prey. Do you know the name of the actor who plays the resident alien? I do not. I don't look things like that up. Josh Street says, if you want to watch the best turn channel on YouTube, go to Bird of Prey 5 XXX and a link. That is the Bird of Prey 5 X channel, 1X, not 3. And the X stands for extra, not any hanky-panky. Project Storytime says, you edited out the coughing. I demand pure Bird of Prey experience. No, you don't want coughs. Captain Trex is Bird of Prey, who says, go to birdofprey5.com for all your Bird of Prey 5 needs. You do, Captain. That is your line. I borrowed it. Super Blubberpuss is Bird of Prey. I tried again to watch DS9. Still can't stomach the bad Odo CGI and irritating Ferengi. I basically only like Cisco. Well, I don't know. Odo doesn't change shape all that often, and for the next most of the season, he doesn't change shape at all, so don't worry about that. As for the Ferengi, they're awesome. Quark is one of the best characters in all Star Trek, in my opinion. But hey, if it's not for you, it's not for you. But for those of us who do enjoy it, we're about to get started here. Actress is Bird of Prey. FYI, the name is Turdick. Turdick, that's the actor's name. Okay. Project Storytimes with Captain Track. I'm still around, but work has me busy, and my channel is finally up and going. Oh, very cool, Project Storytime. Why don't you put in your link to your channel so if anyone hasn't yet subscribed, they can now that it's up and going. John Araki, Kaplas is breaking news. The Bird of Prey 5 XX channel announced it's transitioning to the Bird of Prey XY channel. John DeMarcos is, as a certified Ferengi expert, I have to concur the Ferengi are awesome. And Roxodds is Bird of Prey, it's pronounced Two-Dick. Seriously, Two-Dick. Okay, Two-Dick. Darth Maul, Kapla Darth Maul says Bird of Prey. Alan Tudyk's last name is pronounced Two-Dick, like the Klingons have two dicks. You know what's kind of funny is that Anti-Trekker is now doing a series on Vulcan dicks. I'm completely honest. If you go look at his previous uploads, he's counting the number of Vulcan dicks he sees. So that's really, really weird. Dan23 says Bird of Prey. I think this is the third time we see a shapeshifter die. First with Mirror Universe, Odo. Second was the shapeshifter at the end of season 3. And the third one is this episode. Spoiler alert, yes, we do see a shapeshifter die. John DeMarco says Two-Dick, not Turdick. Like a Klingork. Yes, like a Klingork. Apparently. AT is an odd one indeed. He is, John DeMarco. Okay, so guys, get ready to head over to the Bird of Prey 5 screening room. But before that, check out Project Storytime's channel. Let me make sure I'm subscribed. And I wasn't. I am now. I am subscribed now, Project Storytime. I'm the 38th subscriber. So guys, check out Project Storytime. So he can get some more. We can do better than 38. We can do better than 38. And I hit that bell icon too. Okay. So I'm heading over to the Bird of Prey 5 screening room. I'm going to count down. I'm going to load up the episode. And let's see. His audio is off. Audio is off. So you can listen to the audio of the episode by adjusting the volume in the screening room. If you want to hear more audio, then put the screening room volume to max and your YouTube volume to low. If you want to hear more commentary, keep the YouTube volume high and the volume in the screening room low. I can't change the volume for you. You've got to do it yourself. And Chronos puts in the link again to birdofprey5.com. If you go there, you can find the link to the screening room, or you can just go to birdofprey5.com/SR to get to the screening room. And Darth Maul says, yes, his obsession with that part of the anatomy is concerning. Ever since he went to Twitch, He's changed, indeed. Anti-Trekker has changed. Kronos says, I like Max Power. The name of Homer Simpson in the Simpsons episode. That's one powerful name. Free Gina, says John Araki. Free Gina or Free Gina. Either way. Okay, we're starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hitting play. And
You push that button, we move.
last time on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. And we see Odo getting sick. He doesn't know what's happening. In Garrick's shop, oh no. And now the Defiant surrounded by Jem'Hadar warships. And Odo says he thinks the changelings did this to him, and he's right. He says they forced him to come home to be judged, to enter the Great Link and be judged. And what did they do to him? He's one of you now. Uh-oh. And this terrible line where Bashir scans him and can tell he's human. Now Odo senses these other changelings were trying to hide things from him. Faces, names. One of them was him. He's one of them. Gowron, the head of the Klingon Empire, is a changeling. Oh my God. That was the end of season 4. That was the season 4 cliffhanger. Worf is angry at the computer, saying they should have been back hours ago. O'Brien said, why hasn't, they could have taken longer. So Kira says, why hasn't Cisco and Dax contacted us? Worf says, we never should let them leave in a runabout. He should have insisted they take the Defiant. And Kira said, the captain's orders were clear as long as they're at war with the Klingons. The Defiant has to stay at the station. Worf said it would take a fleet of Klingon ships to breach the station's defenses. Worf says we take the Defiant and go look for them. And O'Brien's in agreement with Worf. And Kira says that she has orders. She doesn't leave. The Defiant stays there. And then Worf decides to pull some rank and says Kira's in charge of the station. But Worf commands the Defiant. And he says we go look for them. And before this becomes a problem, the Rio Grande comes into sensor range. They were attacked by Klingons. They're a lot of damage, but they're okay. The life signs are fine. So Worf asked for permission to welcome them back. So their comm system was out. That's why they couldn't communicate. So they did have a run-in with some Klingons. Kira says they're glad they made it back in one piece. Says the war is not going very well. The Klingons are throwing everything they've got. Starfleet's slowing them down. She said it's hard to believe one changeling can cause so much chaos. So she's asking, is Starfleet going to do something about Chancellor Gowron? And he says, yeah, Starfleet is sending an infiltration team to Klingon territory. Do whatever it takes to prove Gowron's a shapeshifter. She's like, that's a tough assignment. Who are they sending? Me, says Cisco. Because that makes sense. That makes sense. Dun, 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Kaplan Norman Buckwald says, we'll only catch the beginning. Have a work meeting at 2, I'm afraid. Sorry to hear about that, Norman. I assume that's 20 minutes from now. Apocalypse Rising. Cisco comes into the bar, says he's just in time for happy hour. Well, Clark says, do you think anybody looks happy when they come in here? There's a war going on. And he says he does everything in his power to help them forget their troubles. So what can he do for Captain Cisco? He's looking for Odo. Quark says, we all have our failures and he's mine. Ever since he lost his shape-shifting abilities, he can't get a smile out of him. He's upstairs at his usual table, just follow the black cloud. Who would have thought Odo would become a regular of Quark's once he became a human? Actors is bird of prey. How can a changeling maintain sentience when it's physically a rock? I don't know. I don't know. So now Odo never had a sense of taste. He never had paid attention to food or drink. How seductive it could be. The sound of the fizzing. He never paid attention to it. Oh. Would he like him to get a glass? And Cisco says he's on duty. And Odo says, I'm not. And Cisco says, I thought you were always on duty. I mean, he is in uniform. Odo says, at first I found the whole process of ingestion disgusting. But now he finds eating and drinking quite comforting. One of the first things that and then he catches himself, that we humanoids have control over. And Cisco says, not necessarily. There's always the temptation to eat too much, to drink too much. Odo says, one has to find something to do with one's time. For some reason, his work isn't as fulfilling as it used to be. And Cisco says he might be able to do something about that. Starfleet has ordered them to expose the Gowron changeling, and he wants Odo to come with them. Odo says, maybe it would be better to take some deputy. There's nothing he can do that the deputy can't. He's like, I don't need the deputy, I need you, Odo. He says, what you need is someone who can turn into Gowron's pet Targ, and he can't do that anymore. He says, what I need is my chief of security. There'll be a staff meeting at 1600 hours. I expect you to be there. Yeah, I miss Rene Auberjonois. as well. So they relocated Klingon military headquarters to Tyrakor. Tyrakor is located in an asteroid field in the middle of Klingon space. It's probably the most heavily fortified installation there is. There's 30 warships stationed there. And the entire thing is protected by a tachyon detection grid. So no way you can get there with a cloaked ship. He said even if you could get close to there, you can't get close to Gowron. He's protected by his personal security, the Zyan Eleth, his Brotherhood of the Sword. So Kira says, how are you going to prove to them to prove he's a changeling? He's like, they're obsessed with blood screenings. The changeling must have already figured out how to get through. So Worf is like, we could kill him. He said, O'Brien says dead changelings do revert to their gelatinous state. And Sisko says our orders are to expose Gowron, not assassinate him. And that's why Starfleet gave us these 4 gold balls. They're all passing the balls around. He's like, what are they? Says Bashir. They're modified polaron emitters, says Dax. And he said that exposure to these rays will make a shapeshifter revert. He won't be able to maintain his humanoid shape. But this is a theory. It's never been proven. And all 4 must be activated once with a remote control. O'Brien says he hates prototypes. And too much radiation can be fatal. If they expose somebody more than once, they could die from radiation poisoning. So they can cover about 12,000 cubic meters once all 4 are set up. So Brian said we just have to avoid the fleet, avoid the tachyon detection seat, avoid the Brotherhood of the Sword, and set these things up. And that's it. And Worf was like, yeah, if we succeed, there'll be many songs sung in our honor. Kira says, well, what's the first problem is how to get a Starfleet to Tigrakor? And Sisko says, one he can solve, he thinks. And it's Gul Dukat's Bird of Prey decloaking. Actor says, Bird of Prey, getting a hold of Gowron is easy. Just ask him for a cameo. So Dukat, he's saying, used his daughter to lure him here. And now he wants him to run on some fool's errand, risk his ship, and now he finds out that Kira's pregnant. And Dukat thinks that Shakar or whatever is the father. He's like, what a lucky man he is. And Kira's like, she's not the father. Dukat, then who is? She says, Chief O'Brien. And Dukat is dumbfounded. She's so happy. She's laughing. And so Dukat says that Sisko and 3 of his crewmen are going to infiltrate Klingon headquarters. They'll be caught in a heartbeat. And she says, maybe, maybe not. And we see they all look like Klingons. Sisko, O'Brien, Odo. What's wrong, Dukat? Haven't you ever seen a Klingon before? Says Sisko. And Dukat's smiling. And Sisko is laughing with his big Klingon teeth. So, Worf, Sisko, O'Brien, and Odo are all dressed as Klingons. Dukat is himself. He wants a holographic record. Considerate payment in full for use of the ship. And O'Brien says maybe after the mission. But Damar says after the mission they'll all be dead. He says Dukat says let's not depreciate this. DeMars would be better off launching an orbital assault on the command center. And Odo says you should ask Ducat for some short leave. You've been in space too long. He says, why? Because I'm willing to spill Klingon blood. O'Brien says if he wants even one torpedo would be shot at. Even a dozen won't penetrate the shielding around the command center. Cisco says, thanks for the input. We'll stick to the original plan. Yes, they edited the Klingon identity files. They'll have plenty of info to plant into the Klingon files. They're going to be listed for the Order of the Batleth. They're inducting new members in a few days. So Chancellor Gowron is presiding over the ceremony. So that's what they're going to do. Live with Matthew says, Bird of Prey, doesn't this mean O'Brien is technically in blackface? And so is Rene Abu-Janwa. Racists. Project Storytime says, I read that Colmini hated the makeup and Dorn and Rene were laughing at him and telling him to suck it up. I'm sure he was. He doesn't like makeup. That's why he played a human. So now Bashir and Kira are fighting over who put the baby in him, and it was Keiko who did something, but she'd rather blame Bashir. He says he never argues with his patients or his commanding officer, and they laugh. And he asks, do you think they'll make it? She says they'll make it. The question is, will you be able to give them their old faces back? Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, don't you mean Yulman? Worf says we should start with you. I'm waiting. It's O'Brien. It's Odo. He says, I'm not interested in excuses. Are you a Klingon warrior or an Elvirian dung beetle? He says, I don't see the point. He looks away. He says, I don't know. Don't look away. I called you a dung beetle. What's your response? You should have your eyes examined. And O'Brien starts laughing. Worf says, this is not going to work. It's not enough to look like a Klingon. One must act like a Klingon. Perhaps it's better. And then Cisco backslaps. Are you questioning the validity of his plan? He said, very convincing, Captain. But was your intention to challenge me to a battle to the death? He says, no, the next time don't strike me with the back of the hand. Use his fist. Okay, guys, I'll be back in 2 minutes. Sorry. One more minute. Ducat's absolutely right. If they succeed, the war will be over. They won't need him. And if they fail, well, they'll all be dead. So it doesn't really matter. A lot of Klingons in this scene. A lot of people had to get put in makeup for this. Klingons singing and drinking. Klingons knocking into each other, headbutting each other, laughing and cheering. O'Brien took a hit to the head. He just stopped it ringing the bell. It's the Hall of Warriors. You can smell the blood of history in the stone, says War. Says, come, we must celebrate. Odo says, now what? And Sisko says, now we celebrate. And back on the station, people are pushing things on anti-gravity pads. Jake is looking over the railing. Bashir says, how's the view? Jake says, you can tell a lot by watching the way people walk on the promenade. When things are good, people take their time and window shop and talk to their friends. Then there's days like today. Everybody's in their hurry. They can feel the Klingons breathing down their necks. Bashir says he'll remember to walk a little slower. Show no fear, that's his motto. Ops to Dr. Bashir. Report to the infirmary. 2 ships were attacked by Klingons. They took heavy casualties. Bashir says, your father's going to be all right, Jake. Jake says, sometimes I wish he wasn't so good at his job. This way they wouldn't give him such the tough assignments. Bashir says he goes where he sends. That's all part of wearing the uniform. He doubts it's ever going to change. Dan23 says, Bird of Prey, do you love Klingon singing? Oh, I don't know that I love Klingon singing. It's fun to watch. He beheaded a Tellarite helmsman. He didn't even have time to raise his weapon. Then he turns his attention to the captain, a Benzonite. He was a valiant struggle, but in the end, he ripped a breathing tube from his head. And then Sisko beats the crap out of this Klingon. He says, brag all you want, but don't get between me and the blood wine. And they're all laughing at him. And Odo and O'Brien know something's up. You knew Captain Labor. They went to the academy together. Many hours before Gowron gets here. Not till tomorrow morning at the earliest. There's an endurance test, as much as a celebration. The idea is to eat, drink, and stay awake all night, and still be clear-eyed when Gowron arrives for the ceremony. So Odo says, in that case, we might as well drink up. It's a shame it doesn't have any bubbles. The blood wine. There had to be refills, because that much blood wine, hell, they'd go through that in a couple hours, tops. O'Brien thinks he's actually getting to like blood wine. O'Brien says, be thankful the anti-intoxicant they took is still working. Worf says, you'd be so drunk you wouldn't be standing. Oh, what's the matter, Charlie? Oh, he's captain. Okay, come here, Charlie.
I love you.
Yeah, Charlie.
Sure.
It's okay. A little bit of throw up on your shirt, Charlie. Great. Ah, I see. Oh, Charlie, it's Martok. What if they recognize him? Martok, Martok, Martok. She gave him to me. She's changing her shirt. Oh, kapla! 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 Yeah, Charlie, they're all saying kapla. Worf says, Martok's here. Gowron will not be far behind. So it's time to plant the whatever they are. The gold balls. Oh, hi. Oh, Charlie and Mommy have matching shirts. Red shirts.
A little bit of throw up on now. Now that we've mushed into each other.
Oh. Okay, so there. Gowron says, don't I know you? To O'Brien. He said, I'd be honored to think so. He said, I know we have met. He says, he is somebody from the house of Kanja. Martok says, the name is not familiar, but there is something about you. Perhaps we fought. Perhaps we met in battle. His regiment fought at Mimpar. Like, Mimpar, that must have been it. After the ceremony, we honor him with a drink. Yes. We will salute to the fallen. There is something very familiar about this face. And he laughs. He laughs it off. Roxanne's bird of prey. They are giving Charlie a red shirt. He's doomed. No, it's not a Starfleet red shirt. Don't send Charlie on away missions. We won't, Hector. We won't. So conveniently, there's these statues that are the same basic color as the gold balls, so they don't stand out all that much. It would be really terrible if that hall was empty. And some Klingon comes in and says, hey, where's Gowron? And the ball rolls and another Klingon picks it up. And he says, what is this? And Odo is at a loss for words. He doesn't know what to say. He says, "Get away or you won't live to see Gowron." And he elbows the other Klingon. He says, "I'll take that." He says, "This looks like some sort of weapon." And then Worf comes over. He says, "Kobarth, brother." He says, "Ah, you found it." He goes to take it. It's like, "Found what?" It's a Keybert. It's a Vulcan toy for children. Spoils from war on the raid from Arcanus. And he takes it out of his hand. "If you want one, you'll have to find your own." And Worf says, "Give this to your son." And he gives it back to Odo. And now the drums start playing and Gowron enters. Now Worf sets it up. Odo will set it up. They should just turn it on right now. What are they waiting? And Marduk says, "Long live Gowron, long live the Empire." Gowron says, "Klingon warriors, I salute you. At least those of you still on your feet." And they're dragging out some of the ones who collapsed. Says, "This is a great day for those of the Empire. A day where we honor you who have brought us glory. And live on in song and story." Andrea Seabrook is here. Says, oh, I'm late. Kapla, Andrea." He says, "You are our greatest heroes. You will receive the highest honor that can be bestowed on the Klingon. The Order of the Batleth. Gowron." "Come forward, Hatar, son of Tamar." Oh, they're coming with their Batleth. No one else has their Batleth. Like, Cisco or Worf. "Glory to you and your house." And Gowron puts a pin on him. And Odo says, "This is your place, my place. Step down." He says, "Come forward to Miss, son of Barot." "Kerplop," says Andrea. And then Odo throws the guy off. Says, "Glory to you and your house. Come forward, Latrue's daughter of Latrum. It's not only men, there's some women here too. See, they're hip, they're with it. Glory to you and your house." So, Cisco was just about to turn on the balls with the remote control when he got called up. So rather than turn on the balls with the remote control to show everyone that Gowron's a shapeshifter, he will instead walk up there and risk being discovered before pressing the remote control. And Gowron looks at him. Gowron says, "Glory to you and your house." And he plops it on. And Cisco gives the little sign over his chest. And and somebody comes up behind him and smacks him on the head. "Martok," says Captain Benjamin Cisco. I knew I recognized that face. "Seal the room," he says. And Cisco didn't get a chance to click the remote. Says, "Seem we have some uninvited guests." Damn it, Cisco, if you just clicked the remote. So now they're in a Klingon holding cell. Martok says, "Klingon, you have no idea how much I look forward to killing you in battle. And now you've cheated me of this pleasure. Says, I'm sorry to disappoint." Martok says, "Leave us to the guards." He's like, "You heard me. Get the fuck out of here." Oh, it's just Martok alone with them. Says, "Don't you understand? You've thrown your lives away for nothing. Did you really think you could fool us into believing that Gowron was a Dominion spy?" Odo says, "Gowron is the one that's fooling you. And as long as you follow him, there'll be nothing but a pawn of the Dominion." He says, use it on Gowron. He said, they've been destroyed. Gowron saw to it. He says he had to make sure he couldn't be tested. Martok says, your mission was a failure. You deserve to die. He said, would you be happy if our mission had succeeded? He says, you think you're right. You think we're right, don't you? You believe that Gowron is a changeling. Martok says, that is treason. And Worf says, since when is it treason to act in the best interest of the Empire? He says, how long have you suspected, says Cisco. Months. I've known Gowron a long time, and it's no secret that we have not always agreed in the way he runs the Empire. He's a politician, too eager to compromise. Last year, he stopped the attack on Deep Space Nine instead of going to war with the Federation. Suddenly, he was the one calling for war. He thought that would make him happy. He said, at first it did. But then he started throwing aside all wisdom. Our losses continued to amount. And still he listens to no one. No one but the founders.
Hear from you. Then we will be forced to take legal action against you.
Yeah, I don't think that's anything. Gowron must die. Once he dies, he'll revert to his natural form. Worf says you could challenge him to combat. He said there'll be no combat. He'll release them, and then they will kill him. And Cisco's given the heads up. Prisoners will come with him for further interrogation. And the guard says he's got strict orders from Gowron himself. The prisoners wouldn't want to, are not to leave the cell, and Martok kills the guards. Deej Odyssey is in the house and says Bird of Prey 5 is a changeling. And, you know, Martok kills 2 more Klingons in cold blood for the Empire. He holds the phaser up to Odo. He says, not you. There's no telling where your loyalties lie. What is this? And Worf says, it's your death. And Worf starts fighting, and they draw their weapons. So Worf, Gowron says, lower your weapons. If this traitor wants a fight, I will give him one. If you think you can kill me, Worf, you're welcome to try. So we have an epic Batleth battle going on. He says, what are they doing? Why doesn't Cisco just shoot him? He's like, why isn't Gowron letting his bodyguards kill Worf? He says, because honor. But his people don't care about honor. There'll be no honorable combat, no formal charges. That's hardly the words of a Klingon. Tell me, General, did Gowron destroy the emitters, or did you? And, yeah, we all know what's happening now. They continue to fight, Worf and Gowron. Worf takes Gowron down, then Odo yells, Worf, stop! And then Worf, Martok and Odo are fighting, and Odo yells, Martok's the changeling. And Gowron looks, and then the Martok changeling turns into a changeling and chokes Odo. And now everybody starts shooting at Martok. And he's getting shot like 50 times by Klingon disruptors. And he's turning into gelatinous goo and he explodes. Project Storytimes is Bird of Prey. Why did they have to set the golden balls on the statues? Why couldn't they just hold them and turn them on? That's a very good question, Project Storytime. I'm guessing it's because of the radiation, but let's face it, there wasn't all that much radiation. So Gowron realizes that Martok, shapeshifter, had hoped that Cisco would kill Gowron so Martok could take over the Empire. And he said they sorely underestimated Odo here. So Gowron is really happy for Odo. He said, we really want to strike a blow. We have to end the war, says Cisco. He said, why? You said the Martok changeling was the one that pushed for war on the Federation. And Gowron says, yes, but once the war has begun, there can be no turning back. He says, the Federation must allow them to annex Arcanus and the other worlds they've seized. He says, if the fighting stops and negotiations begin. Ah, yes, talk, says Gowron. And Odo says, yes, the last thing the Dominion wants is talk. Gowron, his eyes. He'll call a meeting of the High Council, advise a temporary ceasefire. Where Gowron leads, the council will follow, says Cisco. He says, perhaps. I'll see it that you're safely delivered back to your space station. You've done a great service today to the Empire. For that, I thank you. As for you, Worf, you should have killed me when you had the chance. I promise you, you won't get another. Oh. Gowron should have said, I do not forgive or forget. Glory to you and your house. Yes. Cisco's been turned back to a human being. He said he could do without the ridges, but he misses the fangs. It's only Odo is left. Odo says he won't miss the fangs at all. He says, you know, Constable, I can give you any face you want, Bajoran, human, Trill. Odo says, my old face will do just fine. He says, whatever you say. Maybe he wants to look like Nicolas Cage. And then he can play in Face Off 2. The future Face Off. And end of episode. One of my favorite episodes. Lots of Klingons. Lots of great lines. Gowron. Glory to you and your house. A lot of memes. A lot of memes from this episode. Next week is season 5, episode 2, The Ship. And that's where the crew, which is on a runabout for some reason, watch a Dominion ship crash on a planet. And they have to call DS9 for backup for the Defiant, so the Defiant can tractor the Dominion ship off the planet. But then some more Dominion people come down, and they realize there's something really important inside the ship the Dominion are willing to trade everything for. So it's a pretty good episode next week. More Dominion. Now, not quite Dominion War level stuff, but yeah, Dominion issues. And Aravik Sonder with a $1 super chat. Thank you so much, Aravik Sonder. Greatly appreciated. And I don't want to knock wood, but knock wood. So far, the super chat system is working again today, so hopefully it will continue to work for Friday when we use it again for Bed Life. I can enable the Streamlabs super chats or whatever they're called, the animations, alert boxes again for Friday. Arabic Sonda says, where is the real Martok? Well, that's the thing. We're going to find the real Martok later in this season. That's because season 5 is such a great episode. Let's see who this could be. No, you're not with the vehicle service department. Lies. Lies. Why must you call and turn my house into a house of lies? Bed Life. It's a stream by Birdo Pray 5. Thank you, Carlo Albanese. Hakeem. Kapla Hakeem. Good to see you. Who did I miss? Did I miss anybody? Live with Matters is Birdo Pray. Which episode is the Honey I Shrunk the Runabout episode? One Little Ship, I believe it's called. I'm not sure if that's this season. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. What do we have this episode, this season on Deep Space Nine? Movies and TV, Star Trek, TV, DS9, season 5. We got, okay, next week is the ship. Looking for Parmak in all the wrong places. Nor the battle to the strong. The assignment, trials and tribulations. Oh, awesome. Episode 6 is trials and tribulations. My personal favorite episode of any Star Trek series of all time. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks away from Trials and Tribulations. Joseph Patrick says 80 subs. Unbelievable. Congratulations, Joseph Patrick, with a £2 super chat. 80 subs for the most non-offensive content on YouTube. Congratulations. Congratulations. What do we got? After that, let he who is without sin, things past, the ascent. Ooh, the ascent is not one of my favorite episodes. I'll be honest. The ascent is one of those bottom 50% DS9s. Rapture, the darkness and the light, the begotten, for the uniform, that's a great episode. In Purgatory Shadow, by Inferno's Light. Hell, just these titles are excellent. Dr. Bashir, I presume, episode 16. A Simple Investigation, episode 17. Business as Usual, 18. Ties of Blood and Water, 19. Ferengi Love Song, episode 20. Soldiers of the Empire, 21. There we go. Children of Time, perhaps my third favorite episode of Deep Space Nine. Children of Time. The second favorite is, of course, In the Pale Moonlight, which will be next season. But, yeah. Blaze of Glory, 23. Empok Nor, it's episode 24. In the Cards, episode 25. And Call to Arms, episode 26. A super great season, DS9 ahead of us. Carlo Albanese says, I'm waiting for the uniform. That's when everything changes. Well, it's coming up. Not right away, but this season. Deej Odyssey says being non-offensive is offensive to him. Uh-oh. Yosef says he really should start working on a video. Carlos says Cisco becomes the man. The Federation needs to end the war. John DeMar, technically the war hasn't started. The real war hasn't started yet. John DeMarco says Life with Matthew. It's called One Little Ship in season 6. That's it. Chrono says I'm offended by your lack of offensiveness. Captain Track says Joseph Patrick's YouTube channel. And there's a link. 81 subscribers, 19 to go. Carlo Albanese says, what a season. Absolutely, what a season. And Project Storytime says, let he who is without sin, where Worf helps terrorists while on vacation. Is that the one? Yeah, they go to Ryza. You know, a lot of people don't like that episode. I kind of do. And I kind of see Worf gets radicalized a little. The only thing that's unbelievable is that Worf would be bothered with those people when he could be busy with Jadzia instead. I mean, does anybody honestly believe that? I mean, if he wasn't married to Jadzia, if he was married to, I don't know, Keiko or something, then maybe I could understand. But yeah, I really don't believe Worf would rather spend his time with a bunch of people bitching about the weather net than his beautiful bride. Or was he not married yet? Not married yet. Beautiful bride to be, girl, fiance, whatever, girlfriend. Carlo Albanese says, hail Karoga, hail Karoga. Captain Trek puts in his link to his channel. Check out Captain Trek's channel. Carlo, hail Karoga. Yes, Kronos, Dax in a swimsuit, indeed. Worf gets married. Andrea Seabrook. Yes, Worf does get married. Not this season, but he does. And it's a great episode. Carlo Albanese says, Bird of Prey, is that where we get the weather control machine from? Shh. Yes. Yes, it is. And Lita. Yes, Lita is also in that episode. Carlo Albanese says, Bird of Prey, I mean code 1A 2B. No, don't talk about that code. Things are liable to blow up. Roxod says, look out today for leprechauns. Leprechauns. Ah, Leprechaun Man. I don't know if anybody has seen it, but I tweeted out early this morning my favorite, by far my favorite, what would I call it? My favorite St. Patrick's Day video of all time. It is a news story from I don't know what year, 2005 or something, about leprechaun spotting near Mobile, Alabama. It is awesome. I suggest everybody check it out. You can Google leprechaun sighting news story. It'll come up, or you can just check my Twitter for it. I tweeted it early this morning. Everybody should watch it. But with that, guys, I think we're going to call it a day here. I will check for people. I believe Anti-Tracker is still on Twitch playing his game where he's claims to be attacking Karoga, but he's actually attacking Turtistan and just claiming it's Karoga. You can tell because he messes up every so often and he calls it Turtistan. It's not really a big deal, but just let him be. He's in his own delusions. He's drinking a lot. Whatever. He's really of no worry to us in Karoga these days. But you can check him out, or I don't know who else might be streaming. I will look around later. And I will probably get some early sleep again tonight. Because tomorrow, supposedly at 3 in the morning, the Snyder Cut, not the Schneider Cut, but the Snyder Cut of Justice League will hit HBO Max, and a bunch of people intend to go live watching the Snyder Cut. I don't know if I'll watch it on YouTube or just watch it on my own, but it's a 4+ hour movie, so that's gonna take some time. So plan for it, guys. Kapla all, and Bird out. And once again, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Professor, for becoming a newest citizen. Thank you again, Andrea Seabrook, for that amazing Bird Appreciation Day gift box surprise. We're still just incredible. Then Mamo Pray says the chocolate is delicious. She tried one. Ciso Pray gave me a piece of dark chocolate. It was very good. So thank you. Live with Madison's Bird of Prey. You expecting disappointment with the Snyder Cut? Well, here's the deal, Live with Matthew. I never saw the original Justice League because Anti-Tracker said just wait to watch the Snyder Cut. But to be honest, a 4+ hour movie, I can't imagine it's going to hold my interest. I'd be lucky if I can get through 2 hours. I expect after an hour and a half, I'm going to get bored and start playing Space Engineers and just keep the movie on in the background. And if that is the case, I'm going to consider it a failure. But if I'm actually, 2 hours in and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is the greatest movie ever, and I really, really can't wait for the next 2 hours, then I will be the first person to say, job well done. But I don't have the original Snyder Cut Justice, the original Justice League to compare it to. So this will be the only Justice League I will have seen. And I think that was probably a mistake. If I could go back 6 months and tell myself 6 months ago to just watch the original Justice League cut, I would. I don't think it was worth waiting. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Have breaks. That's what I do. Yeah, I mean, could do breaks, but don't get bored. Well, maybe I won't. Maybe I won't. Maybe it'll be that good. We'll see what happens. But with that, guys, thank you all so much. I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you guys around. Bird out. Thank you all for watching my video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. Sites. Check out BirdoPrey5.com, the new home of everything Birdo Prey 5 on the web. You can also check out my forum at juot.net. I'm also on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. If you'd like to make a donation, check out paypal.me/BirdoPrey5 or on BirdoPrey5.com. Take care.